Previously on the Brainy Video broadcast. So if you have a different message, one that's in any way controversial, you need to protect yourself so you can speak without fear. Give me video or give me death. On the last broadcast, we looked at why it's dangerous to put total trust in hosting sites for your own video content. Hi, I'm Stephen Washer with BrainyVideo.com. I'm here in this little office, the nerve center of Brainy Video, actually, to show you how getting complete control over all your video content starts and ends right here in front of your screen. The truth is, these days, issues of ownership and copyright and security make having your own video player a must. And to do that effectively, in the last video we proposed that Amazon S3 is a powerful and cheap solution for taking that control. In this lesson, we're going to put all the infrastructure in place. You'll see how easy it is to configure videos that are compatible with any screen or device. This is the key to effectively using any player that's your own. We'll configure your videos on Amazon and avoid the mistakes most people make that cause their videos to either stutter or not play on certain browsers or mobile devices. And finally, you'll discover how to make those videos play as fast as possible, no matter where your viewers are in the world. So please follow along closely, because it's likely you've never seen this kind of thing put into practice. And you'll also discover that the whole thing is actually incredibly easy. So let's get to it. The first thing we'll do is create a nearly universal version of your video using Handbrake. I won't go through all the settings. I have a video on that over here. But since that video was about uploading to a hosting site, and this one is about uploading to your S3 account, we need to make two little changes. First, we'll reduce the size of the video from 1920 by 1080 all the way down to 640 by 360. The second thing is to change the average bitrate to 500. Why 640 by 360? Because this is an almost universally accepted size for web videos almost anywhere. And if you don't reduce them down like this, they'll stutter and stop and make your viewer miserable. Do it like this, and a 5-minute video will now be around 50 megabytes instead of 5,000 megabytes. It plays very smoothly and looks great. You can't really even tell the two apart. Let's put your Handbrake video in a folder on the desktop. Now we'll make two other versions of the video. Why? So that they'll play on any screen and any device. See, most online players have only one version, and that cuts out potentially thousands of views. We want to give your video as many chances to go to bat as possible. The other two formats that load the bases, as it were, are WebM and OGG. And the cool thing is that we can get them in basically a one-click operation. Here we are on a site called video.online-convert.com. Just select WebM, go back and pick up the Handbrake video, ignore all the settings on the page, and click Convert File. In a minute or two, your WebM video will be sent right back to your desktop. Then just pick OGG, again, ignore all the settings and hit Convert File. Another minute, and that OGG video is delivered to your desktop as well. I like to take advantage of this waiting time to make my thumbnail. A good thumbnail will tempt people to click on your video in the first place. So open the MP4, select a screenshot, add some text, save it to the same folder. Okay, now that we've got everything we need, let's go back to Amazon S3 and get all these files into our bucket. What's a bucket? Well, it's not something you paint with. Buckets are Amazon's term for folder. Usually it's one per domain, but you can have as many as you want. Anyway, you put all your videos into it. So let's create one. It's really hard though, so let's get focused. Ready? Click, name, region, done. Bucket created. I guess that wasn't so bad. Hey, want to get fancy now? I mean, we can make a folder for the bucket just like the folder on our desktop, so everything is a lot easier to find. But this one's a lot trickier, so we really have to focus. Okay? Ready? Click, name. You know, maybe this video stuff isn't that hard after all. Now, we got to put something in the folder, obviously. After that exhausting operation, this should be cake. Open the folder, click on the Upload button, click on Add Files, select all of them in the folder, then Upload. And there we are. Now, to make sure people can see our videos when we put them in the player, right-click on the name, then click on Make Public. Now click on Properties, and voila! Here's the actual location of your video. You'll need that in the next lesson. Okay, we've done a lot, but there's one more thing I promised to show you, and that's how to supercharge the speed at which your videos load and play. So, the best way to do this would be to move the video as close as possible to your viewer's screen. But what if your viewer's in New Zealand and you're in New York City? You can make those videos load super fast by using another part of Amazon called CloudFront. I love that name. Anyway, CloudFront sees where the video request is coming from and plays the video from the closest location that Amazon has to your viewer. So they load faster and play smoother, and you don't have to move your screen from California to Barcelona. Now, this is completely optional. It adds a couple of pennies a month to your bill, but yeah, I think it's totally worth it. So, to add CloudFront, just click here to go back to the Services page, choose CloudFront, click on Create Distribution, choose Web for the method, select your bucket from the drop-down list, and leave all these other settings alone. Then just click on Create Distribution, and you're good to go. By the way, you only have to do this once. And now you're ready to give your video to your player. In real life, this happens very quickly. Most of these activities you're already doing for YouTube, like creating the MP4 and the thumbnail. We're just adding the WebM and OGG versions, and that's basically a one-click operation. And with the right player, we know these videos now will display anywhere on any browser or device, and with CloudFront activated, do it faster. Not bad for an extra 2 minutes work. But it kind of begs the question, what kind of player can handle this for you? That's exactly what we'll look at next time. You'll learn about the pros and cons of the two major types of players so you can see which one is right for you. We're getting close. Till next time, I'm Steve Washer with BrainyVideo.com.